Okay, I want to show you a time lapse to illustrate how I painted a portrait of the singer Adele. I love Adele. She's an amazing singer, and so I did a portrait of her. I did portraits early on in my art days, and I did a lot of portraits in pastel and did them for people I worked with and people in my family, and I've done a few oils. I did an oil painting of Robin, but anyway, so now I don't do too many portraits. I particularly chose Adele because she's well known, she's famous, and it's a way for you to see, did I really capture her likeness or not? The last one I did was Ketanji Brown Jackson, and I thought that one came out pretty good. So hopefully you'll like this one of Adele. The, the difference would be the portrait of Ketanji. It's a portrait, and yet when I put it on social media, it generated a few political comments, like nasty comments, like aimed at me even. So don't think that is something I want. So anyway, Adele's not going to ruffle any political feathers, I don't think. I hope not. Anyway, I love her. Not, like that. I love her music, and I just enjoy it. I saw her on James Corden doing the car karaoke thing, and she just seemed like a lot of fun. Anyway, this is a time lapse. I'll narrate it so you have something to listen to. Okay? All right. So the time lapse shows you the completed portrait, and then it goes back to the very beginning. I used my iPad and the Procreate app to do this. The only brush I used was the turpentine brush, and I did use a reference photo that I found of Adele online. So that's not showing here, but it was to my left, and I kept looking at it, referencing it. And so just like with regular paint, I laid down some simple colors first. I will say this, that when you're doing a portrait, you have to be very, very careful to get every little thing right, because a likeness depends on your accuracy and your observational skills. So that's important. And normally, especially if you're doing traditional art on a canvas or a piece of paper, you would want to sketch it out either in pencil or in colored pencil, or maybe with a very light brush. There's a few ways to sketch things out, but the point is you would sketch things so that it relatively looks like the person, and then so it exactly looks like the person. You just keep working it. I don't approach art, or at least portraits, as what do I want to say here? I don't even know what I want to say. But anyway, I approach portraits as an observational thing, and I'm just trying to see what is there. So I'll take the little pieces at a time. Like I'll take the forehead and the nose and the eyes, and just kind of roughly place them. If I was going to sketch it first with a pencil or with a watercolor pencil. All right, I just remembered what I wanted to say, because I don't know if you could tell, but I lost whatever I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was that I actually do paintings similar to the way a sculptor sculpts something. That's what I wanted to say. In other words, with digital especially, you can lay down the colors and the shapes, and then you can reshape them on the screen. You can erase pieces, which you could do in traditional art. Obviously, you could erase the pencil marks. But what you can do in digital art that you can't do with traditional art is you can't, grab a piece of it and drag it a little to the left or a little to the right. You pretty much have to erase anything you perceive as wrong. The real difference between the digital approach and the traditional approach is that the traditional approach, you would want to make sure you have an exact likeness. Make sure you're very, very happy with the way it looks as a sketch. In digital, you can sort of relax a little bit about that and put down the colors and the lines, and you could know that if it's not exactly right, you can, like I say, manipulate it on screen or with an eraser. So I think the way I do digital art is very, very similar to traditional art. I think some younger artists are probably more skilled at using digital art as digital art, and so they have all these innovative and amazing new things that they use. And for me, because I'm old, I'm stuck kind of in the past, but using a modern medium, which is digital. So I kind of approach the art the same way I always have, with the exception that I don't need to mix paint and I don't need to have any turpentine on my side or any water. You know, it's a very, very cool way to be doing art. Portraits are one thing, landscapes are another. Now, with a landscape, let's say, for example, you're trying to just paint mountains and water and sky, and it's the Bob Ross thing you want to do. Oh my gosh, you can make so many happy mistakes, right? As he would say. If, however, you're doing a landscape of a particular building, let's say the White House or the Eiffel Tower or anything that is very recognizable, your own home, then just like a portrait of a person, you really have to kind of sketch that out and get all the little things right before you start laying down the colors and the paints. So those are the things. Yeah, so landscape with a recognizable house, a recognizable structure, you have to pay very close attention. The freest form, I think, of painting is landscapes that don't have to look exactly. The tree that you're looking at doesn't have to look exactly like the tree that you paint when you're doing a landscape. You got the idea, right? The ocean, oh gosh, sky, ocean, and sand. It's such a relaxing thing to do if you're an artist, and people seem to love those kinds of landscapes where you have the sky, the ocean, and the sand, and I like to throw in a person or two when I'm doing a beach scene. All right, getting back to Adele. This is a really wonderful lady. I love hearing her sing. I don't know a whole lot about her personally. I've seen her. I think I saw her on Jimmy Fallon once or twice, and I've seen her on the James Corden car. What's it called? Car karaoke or something. And that was a lot of fun. And she just seems really like one of the great singers of our day, and there are many of them. You know, I'm an older guy, but I really I don't have the opinion like a lot of my peers that feel that the old music is the only good music. I really don't feel that way. So Adele is okay in my book. And I found out today, now I know you're going to laugh that I didn't know this, but I did not know she did a song for a James Bond movie. I'm not really big on James Bond movies. When I was a kid, I was, but so she did one, Skyfall or something. I heard it. I asked Alexa this morning, what songs has she done? And she played, Alexa, she played the one from the James Bond movie. Now I want to see the movie. So, and it has that motif in the music, that da, 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 you know, that thing they do in James Bond songs. Okay, so this is about done. Now, if you're watching, you're saying, well, what are you doing at this point in the time lapse? I'm probably doing little tiny things that you might not be able to perceive. I'm just shoring it up. And I really was trying not to make it look photographic. Hopefully I didn't go too far. I kind of like the loose look of a painting. So, okay, well, that's it, kids. Hey, thanks for listening, and I'll play some music under this. It won't be Adele because I'll get a copyright notice. So anyway, thanks for listening.